What is up, guys? DLE Kamel here to talk about the new box that just got leaked yesterday, a couple days ago, whatever have you. I'm a couple days late, but let's get on to it. The new box is gonna be Braver Victory. This is a live stream dragon themed box. Now, very interesting. You guys know how I feel about, Konami coming in 2 and 3 years later, bringing us these boxes from the Synchro era. I really don't like it, and I hate it because the boxes, they sometimes lack themes, and they could have stronger themes if they weren't tied to really bad Synchro monsters. However, this one may be different, and that is because most of the Infernoid archetype is within this box. This is something that usually doesn't happen. We have like a kind of Synchro hybrid box, but it does happen here, and we have a lot of the Infernoid archetype. Now, if you aren't familiar with Infernoids, PDS made a very good video on the deck. I'll link it in the end card of the video, so go check that out, and it'll probably be in the description as well. So you can watch that video and you'll get a full breakdown on the Infernoid archetype. And we are only missing a couple cards. We are missing the continuous spells. We don't have any of those, and we are also missing a couple of these other cards, but we are getting some very good ones that we will go over. So first, we're getting their boss monster and Infernoids. Basically, you banish 3 Infernoids from the graveyard to summon these really big guys, and this one is able to negate a spell or trap and destroy all monsters on the field with a special summon. Very nice. Then this SR Infernoid is able to do the opposite, destroy all spell and trap cards, and then negate monster effects by tributing. And then we also have Decatron here. This is going to be your main way to just dump Infernoids into the graveyard so that you can have them in the grave to banish them for your big boys. And down here in the rares, we do have a lot of main deck Infernoids. And over here, there are also some main deck Infernoids. And if you ever want to see like just how good the cards are for unreleased cards, you could go to Master Duel meta and just go in Infernoid, and it will tell you, what's high rarity in Master Duel, and sometimes it's an indication as to if the cards are good or not. You can see we are getting the UR, Boss Monster, SR, very good. These 2 continuous spells, we are not getting them, and we also are getting Void Vanishment. So that's the next card we're going to read. It is a rare in Duel Links. Very nice. So PDS told me to check out this card, and it says discard a card, add a Void spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except Vanishment or Null and Void. You cannot normal or special summon monster for the rest of the turn except Infernoids. And once returned, if an Inferno monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card to the graveyard to banish those monsters. Whoa, that is pretty strong. If your Infernoids ever get into a desirable matchup, an undesirable matchup, or if you just want to swing into something that is a problem, you can banish it, and it does not target. Very nice. And stuff you're going to be searching with Vanishment is going to be stuff like Void Feast here. Send a Void spell trap card from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard. Special summon up to 3 Infernoid monsters from your deck whose total levels exactly equal 8. So then you're going to be summoning a bunch of small boy Infernoids to proc that effect. So very nice. We got a bunch of small Infernoids down here. And I do think the Infernoids are going to be shaking up the meta because in Duel Links, we do not have many archetypes that have that have a lot of board breaking, chain negating abilities, right? Infernoid is one of these first like really TCG-esque decks that I think we're getting access to, and I think it will be very nice to just be all at once be able to pop all monsters, pop all spell traps, negate a monster, negate a spell or trap. This is very targeted at interrupting the Salamangreat playstyle, forcing your opponent to use resources before your play is over. It's kind of what Salamangreat does, but you're beating them at their own game now. So Infernoid, I think they're going to be a really good, introduction to. They're going to have a very good introduction into Duel Links, and they should be meta relevant. So, off of Infernoid, to be honest, there's no other just an archetype. Mech Knight, I guess you could say, is the other archetype. So we'll talk about that. We've got Mech Knight, Purple Nightfall. This is a UR card. If you control 2 more cards that are in the same column, you can special summon it from your hand in that column. So guys, this is already going to matter, right? Your spaces are mattering so much, even more than just for link summoning. So let's check it out. You can target a Mech Knight monster, control, banish it, and if you do, add a Mech Knight monster from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. I mean, it's a free special summon, and basically, if you have two or more cards are in the same column, that's gonna mean either you have a spell or trap card on a column, or you have a link monster in a column, or your opponent has a spell or trap or a monster in the same column as your Mech Knight that you have an open space to summon it in. So I really like that. I hope it synergizes with some of the other Mech Knights. 2 more cards in the same color, special summon it. Special summon it. If this card is durable, special summon, add a Mech Knight, search it. That's pretty neat. A Mech Knight searcher. So you're not really going to be normal summoning these guys much, I take it. And this is a Mech Knight Link monster, a Link 2. To start a Mech Knight monster, add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. If your Mech Knight monster battles a monster in a different column, then your monster cannot be destroyed by that battle. You take no battle damage. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, interesting. Your opponent can end up not playing around it, and Mech Knight Morningstar will actually be able to put in some work, but you can, of course, just get rid of this guy directly. There are also some Mech Knights down here, and we did just get access to a Mech Knight card in the card trader. Yes, sir. World's Legacy Secret. It's a continuous trap. Special summon level 5 from your graveyard. When lose the field, destroy that monster. Negate any opponent's monster effects that it is activates in the same column as a Mech Knight monster you control. So this is limited to 1 off jump. I can see why, because you know, you could just negate all 3 columns. That would be ridiculous. But one of these, not bad for Mech Knights. They need a very good monster negate. That's an interruption that you know, I feel like you need to have access to in the world of Solomon Great now. So moving on from Mech Knights, there's no other real archetype. Let me know if the Mech Knight support is what you guys are looking at for the next meta in Duel Links. I'm kind of looking at these guys, and I'm seeing that they're going to be able to put a bunch of big bodies to the board and negate stuff, and that's going to be all well and good, but, you know, going first, I don't know if they set up too much. It's very tough to say, since we don't have the cards yet in the game. So I want to say I do think that the effects of Mech Knights being very zone dependent, and I should say column dependent, that is the key word that they use. I think that that is going to be initially very good, because a lot of people, you know, we see it with Solomon Great, Sunlight Wolf. They're just not playing around this effect. They're not paying attention to this. So essentially, I think as long as it's going to be a one-sided mechanic that, you know, you're just paying attention to and your opponent most of the time is not, it should be very good. I'd also be interested to see how easy or hard it is to play around the Mech Knight effects in Duel Links. So I think that is going to be the most important thing going into judging Mech Knights as an archetype right now. We still need some more support for them and their surrounding archetypes for them to be very good. And Mech Knights, I think it's going to be one of those archetypes like the World Chalice, World Legacy cards that does get support box after box after box. So, you know, maybe worth, you know, if you get some, maybe it's not so bad, because they may give it more support down the road. All right, so what did I want to check out? Oh, this Ancient Gear stuff. This is pretty interesting. I saw we got an Ancient Gear fusion in a couple boxes ago. This one is Megaton Golem. It basically just resummons Ancient Gear, Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem if, you know, it is destroyed from the extra deck. That's its effect, where Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem just summons Ancient Gear Golem. So this is just bigger than that, and it can attack extra times if you use Golem for it. Pretty cool, but nothing too interesting here. This is an Earth Machine Link monster. I think this is really going to help Trains. We actually saw Trains win a tournament not too long ago, so any Earth Machine related stuff, hey man, I think it's really going to be helping those decks. Coming down here, we've got a Ancient Gear card as well. Catapult, normal spell. Target a face-up card you control, destroy it. If you do special summon one Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions, you can banish it from your graveyard. Then target one face-up card you control, destroy it. If you do special summon a token, this would be pretty good for getting out. You know, this in itself is a reactor dragon. You don't have to rely on a card like Gear Town to go off, and even if it does, you know, miss the timing, this effect will still go off. So nice, you'll be summoning 2 reactor dragons with your Gear Town pop instead of just 1. So pretty nice. Resolving Switchard. This is a Train card. It is a field spell. You can activate your opponent takes no battle damage for this turn. You also supposed to summon 1 level 4 machine with 1800 more attack from your deck, and if you do, it becomes level 10. You can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Add 1 level 10 machine from your deck. So very nice. This is like a I don't want to play field spell for trains, but it's really only good for turn 1. Your opponent takes no battle damage the turn you activate it. Is there a skill that's going to add this card to your hand? This seems like it would be very good for Annika Boom's skill to like play this on turn 1 or something, or be able to do something to play this on turn 1. Gimmick Puppet Chimera Doll. I'm just going around to the other URs and SRs now, guys. That's how we're going to wrap it up. So Chimera Doll, I like Gimmick Puppets. 2 machines. During your main phase, if you control this link summon card, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon except except machines. So no Zombie Stein. Also take 1 Gimmick Puppet monster you control from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And then if all monsters you control are Gimmick Puppet, you can special summon 1 Gimmick Puppet from your hand. Okay. So I do like this. If you control this link summon card, so this is just a once per turn activatable effect that's going to give you a Gimmick Puppet either to your hand or graveyard. This is actually really strong for the deck, you know, just already starting on something like, you know, Destroy, and usually with Gimmick Puppets, you struggle to find the correct extenders to get you into an Xyz summon early on, but this only requiring 2 machines. Now you can make, you know, this guy off of Destroy and like Bisque Doll or Druid Doll, whatever trash you have in your hand. You bring out this, you send something else out that you can summon from the grave by banishing something, and you're extending with Gimmick Puppets. I don't think this makes the deck a better turn 1. I think its turn 1 still kind of sucks, but this will definitely improve the deck in Duel Links. It was just skating on rogue status before, so should become one of the better rogue decks with that support, I think. All right, there's a lot of Battle Wasp stuff here. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't really care about Battle Wasp. I don't think they're going to be good, right? Only Hama is good from this archetype. Level 12. If this is a good level 12. Banish all insect monsters from your graveyard. They lose 500 attack for each insect. No, I have to play insects. I don't know. If this card attacks defense, it's piercing. Single summon card is destroyed by an opponent's card. You can special summon 3 of your banished level 11 or lower insects. I don't know, dude. Are insects going to be good? There's also a couple other insect support cards. There's an Insector Link monster. And there are a lot of Battle Wasps spread throughout the box. It's, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling the Synchro vibes in this box. You know, I completely skipped over Livestream Dragon. I just think he's a relic from a past meta. These effects, they need to get out of here. You take no effect damage. If the face-up card you feel will be destroyed, you can banish 1 equip spell from your graveyard instead. What? Dude, it's a 2900 attack points monster. What do you mean? I get 4,000 life points. That's it for summoning a level 8 Synchro? Maybe in a combo deck, maybe in TGs, but no. TGs don't even summon Powerful Dragon. Not happening. It's not happening. All right, so let's move on. Draco face-off. That's right, Draco Slayers are in this box as well. I totally like just skipped over them. There's a couple True Kings in here as well. So this Draco Slayer, he was in the selection box, and so was this one. So what new Draco Slayer cards do we have? We have this Draco face-off, and that's it, dude. I mean, is there anything down here this is, I said, Draco Overlord, right? Vector Pendulum, negating anything in pendulum zones. I mean, it'll counter Odd Eyes, Cool Beans. And then do we got any Dracos? Any Dracos? No Dracos. Oh yes, the Drake Overlord. And yeah, negate their face-up pendulum monsters. Ooh, this is nice. So this one negates pendulum zones, and this one negates pendulum monsters. I guess in the main monster zone, you know. And dude, I'm thinking that's it for the generic support. There's not too much else to bark at. Proglio, I think, is a really cool generic link monster that has a pretty nice effect. Target link monster neither great special summon it, but benefits you when it leaves the field. And you can then use it for a link summon of your own. Very nice. I like it. Now we're getting Spiritual Fire Art Kurenai. So this is going to be nerfed to half damage trash. Then we're getting a lot of OG old cards. Ultimate Baseball Kid as well. So to wrap up my thoughts on the box, if you do buy this box, you are buying it for Infernoid and maybe the future potential of Mech Knights. Infernoid, I do believe that it will have a splash on the meta. These pitching archetypes that, you know, focus on sending stuff to the graveyard, they tend to be very strong on release, and then they have to see some type of nerf so to lower their consistency. But things are looking good for Infernoids. They should be able to compete with Salmon Great just based on the kind of deck they are. So things are definitely looking good in that regard, and I think it's going to be, this box is going to be relevant just so you can, like, you know, compete with Salmon Great if you don't want to also play Salmon Great. If you are looking for to get a deck that can, like, you know, actively compete with the deck that just isn't, like, you know, coping for, you know, buying what, like making Water Xyz or like Odd Eyes or something like that, Infernoid, it's looking like it's all in one box right now. They have a lot of powerful tools with Vanishment and Void Feast. You know, a lot of these powerful cards. Also, I didn't realize Void Purification. These are pretty strong cards that you're gonna have access to. And I don't know, it's a lot more than a deck like Salmon Great has. You know, the deck is very powerful, but it does crutch on a couple of very powerful resources, namely the counter trap. And when you're playing a deck like Infernoid with the ability to wipe the field of monsters every turn, wipe the field of spells and traps every turn, and negate this, negate that, I'm not going to get a counter trap, but you know, you have a lot more interruptions to put out against your opponent in this deck than pretty much any other deck in Duel Links. So I'm very interested to see how that does, and I'm very interested to know you guys' thought on the new box. Are you going to buy it? Are you going to skip it? Are you going to save your gems? Maybe see how the decks do in tournaments. That's what I'm going to do for sure. Infernoid, that first tournament, that first GG tour, when this deck comes out, it's going to be sick, guys. So peace out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment. Tell me what you thought of the box. And if you enjoyed the content, keep it here at Daily Yu-Gi-Oh! Peace out, guys.